guys, it's Eric here at Far Point Restorations and Repairs. Today I will take you through this Volvo's door hinge for their gas tanks. And I tell you, it's terrible design, big problems with these things over the years. Well, there's the part number, 306-49879. And as you see here, made out of plastic. Gee, I wonder why they had problems with these door hinges all over those years. Here's where you're going to run into issues. Here's where most people buy one of these things and break them. They have these push tabs, right? They're plastic pins. When they push into the door, they're supposed to spread those little tabs there out, and that is what's going to seal us in and get this thing perfectly situated. The problem is they are molded that way. This is actually not something that is going to move in, and so when you try to tap them in, they break off, they go flying. So what you ought to do actually is break these off. And then we're going to wallow out the holes ever so slightly, and then we're going to turn these around and stuff them in, and that is how you do this job properly. To do that, what I like to do is use a pair of needle nose or flathead pliers like so. You can see you're just breaking it off, and that hole is not big enough. It won't fit through there. So you'll actually, like I said, you'll try to get that installed, and it'll just pop and fly off into the distance. Right, so there's our 4 pieces of plastic. Now you can see our 4 holes, and you can definitely see they're not really opened up enough. So the next thing we want to do is get something in there and clean that out. I worked for Volvo for so long that I took a pick, kind of ground it down a little bit. You can see it's not a pointed tip anymore, but it was perfect for this. So you take it and you just stuff it in there, and you can use a regular old pick, but we're just going to open up those holes. You see how that cleared out the debris, the mess that was there, right? Now you can see that side versus that side. See how closed up that is versus how open that is? All right, we're going to do that with all 4 of those. There we go. So now we've opened up the holes, right? Now we're going to take our pins, and if you see the broken part has a little bit of a ridge that sticks out, well, we're going to use that side to the outside. So you want to stick those in, and you see how easy that went in there? It'll spread that out when we push it all the way through. We're not going to install those yet, but that's the way they're going to go in. All right, so now let's go over to the car. We're going to rip the old gas hinge, what's left of mine anyway. We're going to rip it off. All right, here we go with this, and you can see it's barely hanging on. Broke the bottom tab here. Right, so we don't want to damage the good part, but we're just going to pull that off of there. I'll go ahead and release that. So we've got that loose. We haven't damaged that. In fact, this one still has the spring, but this is no good. This is no good. And you can see what happened. This is actually a cheapo replacement, but it broke the hinge there where this is going to sit in here. It broke one of those tabs off. That's why it didn't sit right. And give it enough time, and this will actually disappear. Then you're trying to color coat that. This one here, I'll have to get a pair of needle nose. We'll pull that out. And you can actually save one of these pins. You see right there? So if I happen to lose one while I'm doing a job, I can use that. See? Save that one. There we go. So there's our old one. You can see here, maybe a little clearer on the table, that the hinge broke off. And we do still have that attached. If it's on there, there's no need to replace it. If you want to replace it, you certainly can. And now we're ready to install this. All right, so we're just going to stick this in like so. And then we'll start one of our pins and push it all the way in. And that should hold that. And we're going to repeat that. Try real hard not to lose any of the pins, because I really haven't found anything that works well as a replacement for those little plastic pieces. And back in the day, I actually would occasionally screw one up and have to replace the whole hinge twice just because I had one of these little plastic pieces go flying. That's not cool. And there we go, nice and firm, right? All right, let me go get the door and we'll slide it back into place. So I showed you on the table there, but this is going to go behind it and it's going to kind of pop into place. Once it's in there, it's in there. Then this is sliding into these 2 slots here, but we're gonna put that in first, like so. Right now it's in, and we just need to get the tension back in there, like so. Last thing to do is to hook that back up, and well, you know, perfectly good, right? Whole lot better than it was before when it was all floppy. That's all there is to it. If you just follow the way that I showed you there, you'll have no problems with it, and it'll hold tightly. You can see, you can wiggle it, the actual metal's wiggling, but that door's not going to fly off while you're driving down the road, which is a good thing. There you go. Another Volvo fix from Farpoint Restorations and Repairs. Hope it helped. Take care.